Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. It is another One Piece day. Chapter 1068. A Genius's Dream. An emotionless excursion, Mads, the group to which they once belonged. This is a cover story that I need to go and properly read, as all the others. I do think that Germa now reuniting with Caesar, or uniting with Caesar, is another one of those things that's going to turn out to be very, very important. Mads flashback. It looks like it, yes. I think this might be huge. And I think this might be huge because what is it? It's another force of power that might just start playing into the war. Right? Into the final war. Because guess what? Germa is a giant military. What would be useful in a huge battle? A giant military. Cypherpole, thank you for returning our Seraphim. Brilliant. Unit Esper is returning on its own from there. Give Esper the order to return and consider your mission complete. Has he figured us out? I mean, of course he has. Lucci, you are sussy. We've just finished a long voyage. The least you could do is let us relax on dry land with a cup of tea. Who is disappearing? Brilliant. 2 months ago, a Cypherpole number 5 ship went missing. 1 month ago, it was CP7. And 2 weeks ago, CP8. Brilliant. All the government ships that have visited Egghead in the past 2 months have failed to return from the trip. Why is that? But wait, no, like for real. Is this something that has already been brought up and I forgot about it? Or is like, were all of them already sent... Are like all the CP8, CP7 and all those already sent after the dude? I think Lucci's making up a fake reason for landing and investigating. Oh, it could also be as simple as that, yeah. We'll use Seraphim's S-Bear's power to fly onto the land. They have the same fruit. What? Okay. The moment we show any aggression, the Sea Beast weapons will devour the ship. Yes, sir. Okay, so we're back to Kuma. Swift. Poof. Well then. That was fast. Clearly, he has gotten a signal from Egghead somehow, right? I think that's what it is. Or from the Seraphim Kuma. Something like that. A realization just hit me. It's not that the Seraphim has the same power. It's that the Seraphim is controlled by... Oh my god. Could this be the beginning of explaining devil fruits? Okay. Because like, what if Kuma is controlling the Kuma and controlling the Seraphim, but the devil fruit is his, right? But because he's controlling both of them, he also can use the fruit on both sides. So the fruit would technically have to be something that is attached to... What? A person's soul. And what could Blackbeard steal? A person's soul. And how did Brook's power work? With his soul. Think about it. Alright, let's keep going. You want us to take you out here? But why isn't this your lab? That's correct. I've been extracting every bit of research money I can from the government to carry out whatever experiments I fancy. Even now, as we speak, my mind is overflowing with ideas. Same here. And even still, I don't have the time, the manpower, or the funds to see them all to fruition. A world in which energy is abundant, available, and free to everyone around the globe. Alright, so he is trying to make a fusion reactor. Yeah, this is what I said a couple of weeks ago. The dude is straight up just trying to create a fusion reactor. Great. So you're gonna give everyone something. I love Luffy so much. Brilliant. Ooh! A donation came through that I can barely see. Because it's too small. Novicus, the abhorrently civil. Thank you very much. Enjoy your games. Enjoy your games. I like that Jimbei is sort of asking all of these very serious questions here. Right? Because he also said that about the whole hive mind thing. He was like, well, wouldn't that create a lot of ideological clashes? And here too, he's sort of like, well, wars have been waged over energy. And like, what's gonna happen when everybody has an infinite amount of it? I like that he's just sort of the insert of actually serious speech. I like his dynamic on the crew so far. I dig it a lot. Vegapunk has a very, very ambitious dream. Luffy is glorious. Well, it's really good of you to try to make everyone happy. I'm not interested in heroes, though. Brilliant. So why do you want to leave this place? In carrying on my friend's will, I find myself treading further into the depths of... Another donation has gone through. Thank you, Volnius, for the 35 pounds. Enjoy your games. So, as you can see, I've dug a bit too deep into the past. And now the government's going to rid of me just like they got rid of Okura. Is it a fair assumption to say that the world government has already figured out this sort of infinite power deal? Because the smart thing to do would be to let him research it, but then get rid of him, and then yoink it. But now they want to sort of cut it off before it even comes to fruition, right? Explosions are going off already. CP0 are the ones who act solely on the Celestial Dragon's orders. And Luffy is just as confused as me. They've been promoted, for no reason whatsoever. They're above CP9. Whenever they're active, it is said that world-shaking events are about to occur. Are we straight up just jumping into another war? There's no way that they're just going to, like, trot around on his home turf, right? No way. Pawpaw's fruit's power is to reach the island. So it is literally the same, yeah. I think this is it. I don't think it's the same fruit. I think it's the... No, I think it's the same fruit, but I think it's the same fruit. I think it's Kuma. I think so. I don't think this is a Seraphim with a fruit power. I think this is Kuma. Alright. Evacuate the researchers and workers. Send Atlas back to the lab. Mobilize Seraphims, S-Snake, S-Hawk, and S-Shark. Put Sentomaru in charge of them. Silly question. Does Sentomaru work for Vegapunk? I didn't know that. He's Vegapunk's bodyguard? Oh, I thought he was under the world government. He just worked alongside Vegapunk because of, like, their orders, right? But it seems like his allegiances lie toward Vegapunk then. That's cool. That might be something to keep an eye on. You know that your disappearance would be an international scandal. Sure, why not? Your head looks funny. Brilliant. Brilliant. I can't wait to see this animated. I can perfectly imagine this scene, right? There's like a serious scene where we zoom out and he talks about like everything going on in the world. Luffy's, and then we just suddenly cut to Luffy. Sure, why not? Your head looks funny. It's gonna be cool. Brilliant. I love this. No way we're actually going to see like a proper fight, right? This is why Luffy would be terrible, would be a terrible hiring manager. I would argue that he would be the best hiring manager because Luffy is the natural fun detector, right? When he sees a person, he immediately knows whether they should be trusted or not, right? So I would argue that he's actually the best one. Good. See you there. He disappears. Brilliant, he vanished. Mr. Appleman. Look out, there's a giant monster. Yeah, so this is what I was about to ask. Clearly, Vegapunk can't be powerful just by deception, right? He has to also be legitimately powerful on his home turf. So, he's gotta fight back. I've always wanted to fight one of these. It's not meant to be down on the sea. It's a space monster. I haven't been here in ages? So they've actually been here properly, okay. Well, since I'm already in the air, I might as well go above the clouds. If Vegapunk's anywhere, he's bound to be there. Do you see those lines running across the cloud, Lucci? Is he gonna get, like, caught up? Of course, of course. If an enemy crosses those lines, it activates a laser beam. That's the defensive system that surrounds Labo Phase. So Kaku is our silly boy of CP0 for now. Oh no, Kaku, the point is, don't take the world's greatest scientist lightly. Who said you were allowed to be more violent than me on Egghead? Ultra Mighty Punch. Okay. So Lucci is actually going to, like... Are we actually going to see them throw down? Shock has given an evacuation order. Everyone into the factory, we're under attack. We gotta get up there in the vacuum rocket. Oh, here we go. Straw Hat, Pigeon Guy. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm surprised Luffy even remembers him. I wouldn't have been surprised if this whole thing would have been Luffy not remembering him and being like, who are you? And then somehow just nothing happens. Okay, but this, I'm gonna say it right now. One of two things is gonna happen. Either there is something completely we do not understand about this whole ordeal, and Lucci might have an ulterior motive for being here that is not actually on behalf of the world government. That's number one. I don't think that's likely, honestly, because Lucci seems to be... He is actually a free agent, though. I don't know. That's number one. That there might be something more to this. Or number two, he is annihilated by Luffy. And I mean, like, not even giving it a second thought. He's just wiped out of existence. Because, I'm sorry, if Lucci has been buffed off screen to be emperor status, Luffy is an emperor. Literally. And he's on Vegapunk's home turf, who's supporting him. And he has Jimbei by his side. There is no way in hell that I'm going to believe Luffy versus Lucci is a decent matchup. Like, I'm sorry. We talked about power scaling before, but I'm sorry, this makes no sense. If Lucci can put up a fight, then I need like an entire 300 chapter backstory about how he was buffed. This is very, very sus. Did you notice the number on the clouds along those black lines? In this chapter it is 72, while in 1064 it was 66. Ooh. I like that. Hold on. Oh, this is the end of the chapter. Oh, this was a really quick read. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. 72. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's a cool theory. And then if it goes off, like Egghead is maybe it's a self-destruct button or something like that. Maybe it's a rocket. Oh my god, are we going to the moon? We're going to go resupply on the moon next to Eneru. Eneru's coming back in the story, confirmed. I like that though. It could be a percentage. I'd buy it if Lucci had Sea Prism Stone maybe embedded in his cat claws or something so he can nullify Luffy's Devil Fruit. But wouldn't that also nullify his fruit though? Because I would imagine that also would nullify him. You wouldn't want Devil Fruit, because wasn't like Luffy, even with the bars, like in Alabasta, right, when they were in the cage, Luffy was already dampened by that, wasn't he? And it's not like they were touching him deliberately. So, would you really want to embed Sea Prism on your hand? I don't think so. And how would that even work? Hold on, let's talk about this. How do zone transformations work? How would what happens to his claws when he goes back into human form? Does he just go back into human form and he has sharp stone prism things sticking out of his fingers? I don't think I'd buy that at all. Let's rate the chapter. This was a really, really quick read, but I enjoyed it. This chapter gets a not too crazy, but still a very respectable, like casual 7 out of 10. If Lucci is not annihilated, Oda, I need shenanigans. And I need a lot of lore, because Luffy is an emperor, Lucci is pigeon. That's it. That's the review. Ship it. Alright, that said, I guess I'll leave it there for today. And then I'll see you whenever I see you. Bye-bye.